right, so you have the Ten of Swords, the Strength, Two of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, excuse me, Five of Wands, the Hierophant, Queen of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, and the Nine of Swords. So what I'm seeing here for a lot of you is a lot of you Taurus right now, honestly, a lot of you Taurus right now are just kind of sick of relationships, because the Ten of Swords, the Strength, the Two of Cups, it represents how a lot of you Taurus may have gotten bitten from some, relationships that unfortunately didn't work out the way that you wanted it to. And the Strength and the Two of Cups, well, I should say the reason why is because, part of the reason why is because your partner was egotistical. They had a very big ego. And as a result, because of the fact that they had a big ego, it was more so a sense of they didn't really want to actually be in a relationship. It was more so about them being hot, them being shining or shiny, and you're not, unfortunately. So the Ten of Pentacles and the Five of Wands represents how a lot of you Taurus would try to be with them. This is past tense, but you would try to be with them. And unfortunately, the Five of Wands, right? You would just get one big fuss, whether it's an argument, whether it's, these people just separating themselves from you, regardless of however it is that they chose to express it. It was always something where you pretty much got the idea, maybe they may have just said it blatantly, that they're punishing you because you deserved it, or somehow it's a situation where something like this. And a lot of you Taurus were confused for a little bit, because a lot of you Taurus was like, well, where exactly is this type of mentality coming from, right? It goes right back to the Ten of Swords. Where exactly is this mentality coming from, right? So you Taurus are sitting up over here trying to figure out, like, okay, what is going on? What is going on? Why is it that your relationships are like this? And to be quite honest with you, Taurus, it's not just your relationships. It's a lot of other people's relationships. At least, you have so many people who play games, and this is statistics, okay? So don't, hold me to this so much. But statistically, because of the fact that so many people are playing games, because they are not seeing the things that they did wrong, and they're not doing right by those things, as a result, statistically speaking, you will encounter a person who has that mentality at least once in your life, and everyone will. Statistically speaking, it's 100%. So that goes to show you that, I don't know if that, does it justice, but this goes to show you everything that I was saying is the truth. Now, I don't know, I actually found the statistic, but I didn't. I found this statistic actually somewhere between 2019. So please don't ask me to bring it up, right? But I had actually found that statistic on a YouTube video, kind of showing and proving that because there's so many people playing games out here, and so many people who are not necessarily aware of the trauma and they are aware that they're doing it, but they don't want to admit that they're doing it and actually change their perspective. Because of so many people doing it, you will meet at least one person in your life, and 100%. And the point that I'm trying to make here is, it's not just you. So you Taurus have to understand that it's everyone. The best thing for you to do is for you to essentially, change your perspective, change your plan. And what I mean by that is I am changing my plan where my own perspective, where, the whole intimacy thing, I'm at a point in my life where I don't even really care about even that. Person wants to give it to me, they don't want to give it to me, whatever. You know what I mean? If they want to remain a friend or whatever the case may be, cool, Now, granted, I'm not going to treat that same person the way I would my relationship partner, but whatever, right? So the way that I'm looking at it is either way I win, because if the person doesn't want to take it to the next step, cool, then I'll just go find somebody else. If they do, cool, then I'm on my way to something potentially good for me. So there's no losing, right? And that's the type of perspective that maybe some of you Taurus should have, right? Now, of course, when it comes to people who want to play games with you, the Hierophant, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles is about, one of the differences is they're going to try to make it seem like they're doing it for your own good and that they care about you and that you, Taurus, are pretty much bugging. And you should change for their liking due to the fact that you're the one who are in the wrong. And if you would just change your ways, then the relationship would run smoothly. And the Hierophant represents how it is that a lot of you Taurus, honestly speaking, should really stick to what it is that your gut is telling you. That's not them commanding your ability to change or your metamorphosis or your transformation process should not be something that they should be able to command, right? Me coming to this conclusion about, the whole intimacy thing, in essence, is something that I chose to eventually come around to based upon my own experiences and based upon me judging for myself that it was necessary for me to make. So, yet again, this is me getting better. Now, I'm saying that to say that, again, with me not being the same person who I was 2, 3, 4 months ago, this is at a point where, again, so that just makes it harder for people who I'm interacting with to run game on me at the end of the day, because if you still tripping out about the intimacy thing, and I don't necessarily really care about that, and if after a month that goes by, I'll just treat you as a friend, and you still tripping out about that type of stuff, I mean, you bugging. You know what I mean? Like, the other person is obviously wild and going off, and it's obvious, because what do you say to a person that doesn't care one way or the other? Really doesn't. And it's the same thing that goes for you Taurus. They essentially, let me just talk to you about it. So essentially, they want you to care, and they want you to be able to command. They want to be able to command your perspective and how you change. And the Hierophant very much so is a Taurus card, or it could be a Sagittarius card, of course. But they want you to be able to change at their command. They want you to be in a position where they command you and tell you what to do without you having any kind of discernment for yourself. And see, the thing about it is that for you Taurus, that level of discernment and that ability should change is propriety, meaning that it's something that you have command over. It's something that you control, and they should never be able to control it. The Queen of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles, this is never something that a good partner or a good potential partner should strive to get or to look for, where they command the change of the person. The person should want to change based upon them seeing things from a different perspective and wanting to make that change on their own. And if they can't respect that in the first place, then why is it that you, Taurus, would want to change for them? The change would essentially be artificial, but they don't really care about that. So what's next for you in the future? The Ace of Wands and the Nine of Swords. So if you, Taurus, happen to be hanging out with anybody, then know that this is what it is, that's what's going on. And if you, Taurus, are not hanging out with the person, and this is past tense, then just know that if you're over analyzing the situation as to what went on within that relationship in the not so distant past with the person that you just got out from knowing, just know that that's what was going on. They wanted, like I said, they wanted to have you wrapped around their finger, because the goal or the aim of what people who play games, they do it a lot, is that they want to be able to, because they're control freaks, so they want to be able to command every attribute of the other person, so that the other person becomes what they want them to be, without the other person actually ever questioning the person who's running the games in the first place. So what happens here is that the other person who's getting the game played on them, right, supposedly, and the situation with that is that it's very easy to run game on, quote unquote, if you can call it that, the person who's originally playing games with you. You know how you do that? You just don't honestly speaking, the best way, you don't participate. That's honestly the best way. A lot of times people, or honestly speaking, a lot of times people are tryhards. They're trying too hard I got to get back at the person. Why? And I'm speaking as a person who understands how to run those games. The best possible way to run game on the other person is to not run game at all, and to just simply move forward. Because the person who's running game, they need games ran on them in order for them, I should say, they need games to be ran, for them to actually function. Because when they're by themselves, they're miserable. But when they're with somebody, unless they can actually focus all of their frustrations on somebody and project, right, is when they don't know what to make of their own reality now that they're by themselves. So the Nine of Swords now represents, so this means for you, Taurus, this is about how a lot of you, Taurus, need to understand to get the level of delusion out of your own mind that you started to share with the person that was running these games on you. Now let's clarify the Nine of Swords. Okay, so you have the Hermit, the Five of Swords, the Devil, and the Four of Swords. So the Hermit and the Five of Swords now represents the Hermit and the Five of Swords now represents again, their games that they're running on you. Now that some of you, Taurus, are not hanging out with these people, they're going to be, at first, they're going to be talking that stuff, okay? They're going to be talking about how, they're glad that you're not around because you were weak and you were boring and all of this type of stuff and all of this and all of that and, all of this type of nonsense and all of this. But at the same time, too, the Devil and the Four of Swords represents how a lot of you need to understand, though, that you shouldn't even care about that, because people are always going to make up, delusional people are always going to, it's baked into the cake. They're always going to make up excuses for their delusion. They're always going to make up excuses for their nonsense, right? They're always going to make up an excuse for that. So the thing about it is that as a result, right? So what it is that you should do is the devil and the four swords, right? This is what the cards that I got. So the devil and the four swords is just get wiser, just get smarter. So when that type of stuff happens, to clear right out of there and go MIA. Because one of the things that people need, honestly speaking, really, in order for you to kind of get over that nonsense is rest. Is no communication. Really, that's one of the best ways as well. That's why I was saying to move on. No communication. When people want to wild out on you, don't talk to them. Don't text them. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't see them. Don't engage with them. Don't do anything with them. Don't do anything that has to do with them. Don't go to the spots that they normally go to. Just leave them alone. And what happens is that, your subconscious will gear towards not having these people in your life just originally, as opposed to you thinking that, oh, you're in pain and this is what it is that you got to do. So again, one of the best ways to get back at the person, to control the other person, is to not control them at all. That's honestly the best piece of game ever, is to essentially don't play the game, because then you can never be controlled by it, and you can never be controlled by it. But that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm trying to make my YouTube channel grow to 10,000 subscribers by the end of June. As of right now, we have 6,460 some odd subscribers. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set that notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos.